Hello, everybody. Mr. Flynn here. This is going to be an experience for all of us. So, as you probably heard, we're going to be moving forward, and we're going to be doing instruction such as it is as we can here. So, I'm going to be using the Hub almost exclusively, but I'm also going to be creating these little videos just to sort of add content to it and hopefully to continue teaching. There are a few things that we need to go through in order to sort of move forward. The first thing is, of course, I hope that you are well. I hope that you're all safe, and I hope that you're dealing with the quarantine as best you can. I have some advice for you. I don't know if you know this or not, but I do teach the HSP, which is the Anthropology, Sociology, and Psychology course, and I can tell you that for your psychological well-being, you want to do things to think and to grow and to be as active as you can and still be safe. So still maintaining that social distancing they keep talking about and so on, but also keeping your brain really busy. Okay, so that means reading as much as you can. Try and reduce your screen time. I know it's really hard, right? It's so easy to get onto a PS4 or stay on your phones and you're snapping and Insta-ing and all that kind of stuff. But as much as you can, get off those things and do something. I mean, do some exercises. You can do some exercises in place. Push-ups and sit-ups, and there's virtual yoga classes online, there's meditation classes online, there's all kinds of stuff. You just kind of have to dig around, and as things go, maybe I'll even post that, although I bet you've probably seen a lot of that posted already. Okay, so number one, for everybody, this is for the CHC2P, my grade 10 applieds, my CHC2L, the other grade 10 class, and the HSP 3C and 3U split, okay? The first part of the message is for everybody, and then at the end of this video, there's going to be some messages for just some of you, okay? So first of all, our class times are basically what I'm going to use for a guarantee that you can always get a hold of me online. Now, you can always email me, and I'm always going to get back to you, okay? So I want you to know that. I also want you to know that I'm here to help you. So if you're stressed or if you're feeling like this is a lot, I get it. We've never done this before, and I've never done this before. As a matter of fact, this is the first video I have ever made that I'm going to be posting to YouTube. So it's a learning curve for everybody, and I'm going to be doing the best that I can. Okay, this video is already getting too long, so the office hours are going to be basically our class times. Okay, so the same times that we would normally have our classes. So for our HSP, that would be from 10:15 to 11:30. Guaranteed I'm going to be online with you folks inside the Hub shell, also on my email, and so on. For the CHC2Ps, that means after the second lunch. So that would be, let me figure this out. That'd be 12:25, right? So I'm going to be there, ready to go. And for the 2Ls, I'm going to be there from 1:45 till 3 o'clock. So I'm going to be available every single day. Now, they've said 3 hours of instruction, but I imagine all teachers are going to be doing much more than that. The other thing is, I want you to understand to know that we understand that you're going to be working, at a pace, right? So the deadlines are going to be fluid. So please don't be stressed about deadlines and those kind of things. Just know that we have to try and wrap up as much as we can from now till the end of the semester. Okay, I made myself some notes because I'm old and I forget stuff. So office hours I have. So your number one job right now is to catch up on any lost work. So I want you to go to the Hub first thing. Go to the Hub and look through all of the content and all of the assignments. All those drop boxes there, for example. If you haven't submitted something to that drop box, then right now we don't have a mark for you for that, and that covers some of the overall expectations in the course. So number one, catch up on all work. Number two, I wanted to show you a discussion page which I have set up. Everyone should have this option to make sure that when you get into your Hub, you can see yet another way to stay in contact. So if you go to just your home page right here, sorry, I don't know another way to do this. And then if you click on class tools, just going to give me a second here, and then you're going to see a button that looks like this, okay, with like right there, and that's the discussion button. And what I've done is I've created a discussion channel, I don't know if that's the right word, for every single student, okay? So that means that you and I've even called it one-on-one chats, okay? So you can see, here are the one-on-one chats, and here is everyone's name. Now, I'm only in one class right now, but I did this for all of my classes. So what that means is you and I can have an ongoing discussion about anything that we're learning. And I can answer your questions, I can give you some feedback, and nobody else can see what we're talking about unless you want them to. So, like, obviously, your parents are going to be in the background, and they can obviously see it, but your friends and classes won't be able to see it, is the important point. So let's just say this would be the equivalent of, you don't want to raise your hand in class because, you're afraid of asking the question. Similar kind of thing. So it's just a way to ask me kind of quietly, discreetly, and I can give you some feedback. Also, too, when I give you feedback on assignments and projects, it's another way to keep that sort of closed and private. I don't know. I'm doing the best I can. There is also a virtual classroom feature, which I'm just learning on the Hub right now. I'm hoping to do something with it on Wednesday. So right now, today is Monday. I'm hoping to do something by Wednesday. Okay. Also, I want you to know that I'm here to help. So whatever help you need, don't be afraid to ask. Again, ways to get a hold of me. There's email, there's the Hub email, and now there's this discussion page. My preference would be for you to use the discussion page just because it keeps everything all in one spot inside the course shell, which is really nice. And that way, my email inbox doesn't really get sort of flooded with a whole bunch of things I have to sift through. This is already sort of sifted. I can see your name. Okay, Julie or whoever has a question, and I can try and get your question. Okay, we're not teaching a Julie right now, so I just thought I'd use that name. With regard to the assignments that are coming up, how can you demonstrate your learning? Well, you can do that any number of ways. So as long as you're taking a look at whatever the assignment's asking you to do. So if it's asking you to, so the first thing that I've asked with the grade 10s, for example, is to take a look at the PowerPoint that I've posted on politics and crime and then answer 4 questions. Okay? How you answer them is up to you. So you can just type out the answers. That's great. If you're more of a hand writer, and if your handwriting is neat enough that I can read it, because I need to be able to read it, you can even just write out the answers, take a picture of it with your phone, and upload that into the Dropbox. I believe that's pretty easy for some people. You can do PowerPoints. You can do, if you want to do a Prezi, you want to do something like that, I'm open to anything. So whatever you're best at, whatever you're most comfortable with, just make sure that you're answering the questions and doing whatever it is that the task wants you to do, and then you're in good shape. Okay? So, like I just said, for the 2 P's and 2 L's, I've just now loaded up a PowerPoint on politics and crime, and I've included 4 questions in the description and in the Dropbox. They're the same questions on both sides. So, 2 P's and 2 L's, read through that PowerPoint very sort of carefully, go through it very slowly. If you want, as you're going along, you can make some notes. Yes, this is important. I think Mr. Flynn thinks this is important, and so on. Okay? And then there are 4 questions. So what I'm doing is I'm checking your level of understanding. Do you know what it is that you're reading? And also, too, telling me about the importance of some things. So one of the things I ask you about is prohibition. So why would a government enact a law like prohibition? What would it do? Or why does it feel that prohibition is necessary? Okay, so take a look at that. Interesting, I think it's in the PowerPoint, but some towns, as a hint, by the way, some towns thought that alcohol was so connected to crime that after Prohibition came into place, some towns actually sold their jails because they didn't think there was going to be any more crime. Kind of interesting. Okay, for the HSPs, that's the HSP 3C and 3U. First of all, there's an intro video about psychology and the basics of psychology. It's a crash course video. So, for example, it talks about the founding of the first psychology university in Leipzig in 1879. It talks about psychodynamics and psychoanalysis and psychoanalytic theory. It introduces you to a number of the sort of the front runners in there, and Freud, and so on and so forth. And we're going to get to this stuff as we go, but that's a very good intro video. So thank you to Crash Course History. They, by the way, with regard to copyright, they say it's okay. Every teacher can use that. It's not a big deal. And it's just a great introduction. I have also, to start us off, I've also put a slide deck into the Hub that talks about conditioning. So what I really need you to understand about that is the different types of conditioning and some of the terminology associated with conditioning. So for example, punishment versus reward and positive versus negative. It's not as easy as it sounds. Okay, so something that is negative doesn't mean negative in the way you and I are talking about negative. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be posting a little bit of a lesson on that PowerPoint this same way. I'm going to be doing a video. I'm going to post it on the Hub, learning how to do that. So please be patient with me. And then I'm going to go through it slide by slide and see what you have to say about that. So right now, that's where we are. Just so you know, I have a virtual meeting at 10 o'clock this morning. So my times are a little bit fluid today, but I'm still with you. And I also have to go into the school at 11 o'clock. Don't worry, we're being extremely safe. We're using PPE, personal protection equipment. We're also washing our hands. We're not touching any surfaces we don't need to, but we're just going into the school to get the necessary things that we need to keep going with you. Okay, so all the best to you and to your families, and I want you to know that I'm here to help, and we're going to get through this together. Please, one last favor, communicate with each other as much as possible. Talk to each other. Get everybody into it. Like, get people in. So if you see that, you know, people aren't really interested in, or haven't gotten on to school just yet, direct them to the hub. Help me out, okay? Try and bring people to the hub. Check out some of the content and kind of get them going. And if you are talking to people about content, it even helps you keep the stuff in your head a little bit better. You'll see how that works. There's actually a bit that we're going to be doing in the psychology unit about the power of teaching and its relationship to learning. Okay, anyway, it's too long. It's an 11-minute video. I apologize, but I wish the best for everybody, and please stay in touch.